Anyway, time for a quick break. When we come back, Jennifer Muldowney from Rainbow Bridge Memorial will join us to talk about her new business venture for grieving pet owners. So you're very welcome back to the show. My next guest has come all the way from the Big Apple. From weddings to funerals, this lady has planned the whole lot. Her latest business venture is one of a more personal nature. It stems from the loss of her beloved Westie, Roxy, a couple of years ago. She's now creating glass cremation memorial jewellery for her funny friends. Please welcome Jennifer Muldowney to the show. As soon as I said glass, I've forgotten the phrase already, but all the faces on the panel turned and went, what?
Like, that's me. Yes.
So, look, you're Irish, but you're living in New York.
Yes.
Well, thank you for flying in from New York to see us.
Problem.
You did have another reason as well, though, didn't you?
I did. So my brother and fabulous sister-in-law are expecting their first baby, so I'm going to be an auntie for the first time in April. So I wanted to see the bump, because the last time I was here, they had just told me the exciting news. So I didn't want to miss the whole process. You know, I wanted to see.
So you've been here for the snow, so you've just been hanging out with them.
Yes, hanging out with my dog, actually.
Okay, so dogs brings us on nice. Do you travel with your dog?
No, I don't. I don't travel from New York. She stays here with my parents, so which breaks my heart every time. Oh. And I'm not going to lie. I know this might sound a bit strange for some people, but most pet parents out there will agree with me. It actually breaks my heart more saying goodbye to her than my
Do you know what?
Parents.
What's the dog's name?
Poppy.
Poppy's probably licking the TV screen right now. Going, there's my owner, Jennifer.
She's actually devastated because we made a snowman and everything together. I'm 35 and I was out making a snowman with my dog.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
so,
yeah.
Look, before we get totally distracted, I've been separation anxiety for you and your poor little Poppy. Tell us what it is you do, because, okay, the story is you started out as a wedding planner.
Yes.
And you were always into event organising.
Yes.
But you've come now into this, I suppose, canine or animal jewellery, as it were.
Yes, well, it's to keep it very brief, it started actually originally the seeds of the idea, when my grandmother passed away. So I lived in Washington, D.C., and she passed away, and like most Irish grandmothers, had given me a miraculous medal to keep me whole and keep me pure on my travels. And when she passed away, I kind of wore that as my way to feel close to her. But of course, because it was a holy religious medal, I got the, oh, are you going to become a nun or the Virgin Mary? And just, it became a bit of a negative, and I had to kind of say, well, no, my grandmother passed away, actually. So I stopped wearing it because I was only young as well at the time. And then a couple of years later, we actually had to put Roxy down. She'd had a couple of strokes, and I nearly can't talk about it now because I still get emotional. And there she's on the...
Oh, lovely little
my little
Roxy.
baby.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I don't even really like dogs. But
I have to say, Poppy is actually Roxy's granddaughter as well, and actually was born the day Roxy passed away. So it's kind of all this weird that we kind of feel her soul...
All this serendipitous stuff.
But they are actually the nicest. They're just a lovely dog.
So you felt it really badly then.
I felt it really badly. But the weirdest thing about it was, and I think most pet parents, as we call them really in the States, find, is that there's no blueprint to follow. So when somebody passes away, we've kind of got a funeral. There's condolence cards. There's wreaths that can be sent. Whereas when it's a pet, your friends don't know what to do with you. They don't bring you cooked dinners.
Yeah, you could have your pet anything from probably 7 to 17 years, maybe not that long. But...
Exactly. We had Roxy for 16 years, and she was with me through childhood, through my teenage years, when I could tell nobody half of the things I was up to. And I could tell her, and she just, you know, let's go for a walk, and there was never any judgment.
Let's get to it. You do pet funerals.
No, I don't do pet funerals. So I talk to people about pet grief. I did a TED Talk in October.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's more that Rainbow Bridge Memorials is the name of the business, and it's more that it has become a community for people to open up about their grief. We do condolence cards, and we do the pet cremation jewellery, which helps people through their grief. But we haven't yet... I say yes. You kind of might have broken a bit of news there. But anyway, Ruth, I'll forgive you. Yeah, because pet funerals is obviously a very Americanized notion. And I'm very conscious of where I've come from, and the Irish roots kind of always bring you back down to earth.
There's no doubt there will be people watching this going, what? Is she mad? Pet funerals, jewellery with your pet. But people, we can't discount how attached people get to their pets.
Yeah.
And so this pendant idea is where you explain how you get the pet connected with the piece of jewellery.
So we do two different types. We have where you send us a teaspoon of the ashes, and we actually fuse it with glass or encase it in it that you can see it swishing around. Now, these pieces are very nobody knows what they are, and I designed them that way because of my experience with my grandmother's piece. I didn't want, they're not there for other people to comment on. They're there for you to just feel that they're with you.
It's not like you have the dog's femur on a chain around your neck. It's subtle.
It's not advertising. No, it's not advertising it.
I was going to say, is Roxy in there? So
yeah, Roxy is in there. Yeah, and I have we've other pieces. I've a lot of but we've other pieces there where she's actually inside. So the silver pieces that we put the ash, you can do that yourself in your own home, because some people aren't comfortable in posting ashes. They just feel a bit disconcerted with that. But it is such an emotional, even doing that. And I work, as I say, I do it with humans, I do it with pets, and the emails I get back from people like are unbelievable.
Yeah.
They just, they're thank you, you know, he's back in his little glass home, you know.
Well, the grieving process can last a long time, and I often think people underestimate how long it can take from a funeral. I think years ago in Ireland, somebody told me a story where people would wear a black band on their arm for a year, and the idea is that for a year people kind of not go easy on you, but are aware that you have suffered a bereavement. So again, for the people who have pets, you know, you get less. You don't even get the old-fashioned band on your arm. You don't get the funeral. You don't get the people coming around, as you said, making sandwiches. And do people come back to you? Like, what kind of things have people said?
I mean, when they come back, I've helped them on this journey, that they just feel they have a little bit of their baby back with them. And that's the thing, they call them their baby. And I'd never, you know, I don't sit here and say I'll compare human loss to the loss of a dog. But I just feel like as a society, we need to stop judging people. Like, you know, I was terrified to call in sick. To sort of call in sick. I wasn't sick, but to call in and say that my dog had died and I needed a day because I wasn't able to work. I worked in a very public serving role at the time, and I was like, I can't. I'll be bawling, crying for the entire day.
I find it interesting that you call them pet parents as opposed to pet owners. That's a new phrase on me, and I suppose I'm wondering, because you're living in America, this is you've got to ask the question, Ireland versus America. Is the bulk of your business in America? Have people in Ireland been taking you up?
Would you believe I do it for humans and I do it for pets, and the majority of my business for humans is in the States, and the majority of my pets, 90% of my pet business is in Ireland.
Right.
And that actually blew me away. Yeah. I rarely get human people requests for humans in Ireland. Yeah.
So in the States, just that I have this right, in the States you would have human remains,
because
ashes.
of the Irish element. They really attach that, the Irish American. Because what we do is they send us a teaspoon of the ashes, we fuse it with glass and send them the piece back, but we scatter a little bit of their ashes on Irish soil, so a little bit of them stays at home. So they love that.
So the diaspora can be attracted to
Yeah.
that side of things.
So
I have to say, I'm completely fascinated. What kind of pets then are people coming to you with? I suppose we've been talking about dogs a lot. I'm sure there's people who have cats for years and are very attached to them. Anything unusual?
No,
gerbils?
cats and dogs. I haven't had a crocodile or anything of crazy yet.
Never fitted in the crematorium.
No. We haven't got horses or guinea pigs or rabbits or anything of that yet.
I wouldn't be surprised actually if at some stage you had a horse, because they're kind of animal. Am I right in thinking they live a long time as well?
Yeah.
I'm learning so much about animals and pet bereavement and things like that. Tell me a little bit about your TED talk. You did a TEDx talk, and it was to do with grief guilt.
Yes. So I was delighted to do that in October of last year, and I actually, because I've wrote a book on funeral planning and I deal with both the human and the pet side of it, I really debated on what to talk about, because I feel like there's so much in the industry that people need to know more about. And it is an industry as well, there's, you know, that point. But I decided to sort of break the mold on grief, and because it was my own experience, was that it's just a dog, get over it, it's just a dog. That is heartbreaking, because you basically bury your grief. And it's so hard. And my point with the TED Talk was it doesn't matter whether you are grieving a gerbil or a goldfish.
Or a job, maybe.
Or a job, exactly. It's just that as a society, we just need to stop judging each other, you know?
Remind us of the name of so you have the TED Talk, remind us of the name of the book.
Say Farewell Your Way.
And then if people want to get in touch with you, maybe they have an ailing pet at home and they're thinking, I really want to get involved in this and keep a little bit of them. It's rainbowbridge-memorial.com, isn't it? Well, the very best of luck with that. I know you're hightailing it back to the airport now. We're very exotic today with people jetting out and jetting in to do the show. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It is time for a quick break. You can catch us back here in 3.